Langsweert, Lando de Vriend, and I are going to talk about the relationship between advertising and pricing, and also about beer. We will begin with a small commercial you probably all have seen before.
Can you feel the sweat on your back? You worked all time good and some slack. And big hit the brain and fade to black. Push it, smash it back, cool it off down the hard track. Long night on the firecracker in black. You just wanna something is going from this scene. Push
Well, now let's take a look at the comparison of the company behind the commercial, AB InBev, and another well-known company, Delhaize, with their well-known delicious beer, Delhaize Gold Beer. We searched for the total marketing budget, and as you see, they are about the same. AB InBev has a marketing budget of 4,712,000,000, and Delhaize has a total marketing budget of 4,392,000,000.
Then we searched up which specific part of the marketing budget is directly going to the campaigns of the beers. The marketing budget of Jupiler is 716 million euro, and for the Delhaize Gold Beer, well, it's 0 million. We then divided the marketing budget by the total amount of liters beer they are producing, and we came to these two numbers. For Jupiler, when you buy 1 liter of Jupiler, you pay 0.23 euro for their marketing budget. For Delhaize Gold Beer, you pay 0 euro. We have to mention that for Delhaize Gold Beer, there are some marketing costs, but they are so small they're negligible.
Now let's take a closer look at the price of these beers. As you can see, a tin of Jupiler costs about 70 euro cents, while a tin of Delhaize Gold Beer only costs 24 euro cents. This is almost 3 times as cheap as Jupiler. We also calculated the price per liter. This is 2.11 euro for Jupiler and only 74 euro cents for Delhaize Gold Beer. Next, we came to these interesting findings. If you would buy 1 liter of Jupiler, 11% of the amount you pay goes to direct marketing. However, if you would buy 1 liter of Delhaize Gold Beer, 0% goes to direct marketing. But perhaps you assume that Jupiler can ask a high price because A, it's a better beer, and B, it has better quality. Well, let's see about that. Good.
Well, a panel of experts did a consumer quality test. It was a blind quality test, which means that you had a panel of experts tasting all different kinds of beer, but not knowing the name of the beer they were drinking. And as you see, Stella Artois was chosen as the best beer. Surprisingly, Delhaize Gold Beer was chosen second, and Jupiler was only on 6th place. So if people would just buy the beer with the best quality, with the best taste, they would buy Delhaize beer instead of Jupiler. But they don't. They prefer to buy Jupiler, a less tasteful beer, and to pay more for it. Why do they want to pay more for a less tasteful beer? Perhaps it has anything to do with the huge amount of money that AB InBev spends to the advertisement of Jupiler. And perhaps it has something to do with the 11% of the price you pay that goes to direct marketing. But what do they accomplish with advertisements? Well, this leads to the following question: why do we advertise?
To begin with, advertising is an easy way for consumers to obtain information. They really get to know the product. Once he's convinced, he probably buy the product. Another advantage is that consumers are able to compare two similar products, like we have with Jupiler and there's a cold beer. This results in brand awareness. Brand awareness is a concept that measures consumers' knowledge of brand's existence. It can also be defined as the likelihood that consumers recognize the existence of the product or the service of a company. Creating brand awareness is seen as one of the main concepts, the main steps in promoting a product.
But advertising is also helpful for companies. Like we said before, once the consumer is convinced of the product, he will probably keep buying this product. We have to keep in mind though that one of the main goals of a company is to maximize profits. So, through advertising, they are trying to catch the attention of the consumer by influencing them and conquering a part of the market, hoping for sales increase.
So, why does Jupiler spend this huge budget to advertisements? That's why. Okay? As you see, Jupiler has a market share of 36.9% of the total beer market in Belgium in 2009. You can also put it like this: if you have a person in Belgium and he buys 3 beers, one of them is going to be a Jupiler. Knowing that the second biggest market share is 6.8%, the market share of Jupiler is incredible. And I don't even see the Delhaize Gold Beer mentioned. They are part of this category, private label, but in that category there are over 20 different brands, so their individual market share is absolutely nothing compared to Jupiler. In general, we have 2 different kinds of advertisements. We have non-price advertising and we have price advertising. Non-price advertising is also known as mood advertising or persuasive advertising. Price advertising, on the other hand, is known as informative advertising.
Okay, let's begin with non-price advertising. Like you all may guess, this kind of advertising tries to persuade or convince the consumer to buy the product. The main idea is that they are trying to create a sort of brand awareness among the consumers. You probably all remember the small commercial at the beginning of the presentation. This was a nice example of non-price advertising. They weren't trying to convince you of the quality of the product. They are just showing you a commercial to show they are just that they are out there, that they exist with a high cost commercial.
Another important idea behind non-price advertising is to change the consumer's preferences by pointing out the main characteristics and qualities of the product. A nice example of non-price advertising, and also by pointing out characteristics, is this commercial of Slitbang. As you will see in this commercial, they are trying to convince the consumer of the unique benefit when using Slitbang.
Hi, I'm Barry Scott, and I'm here with Jill, who uses Slitbang Grime and Lime. So Jill, what do you think?
Well, Barry, I use it all over the house. It's great on lime scale. I think sparkles. The kids make such a mess in the bathroom, but it tackles soap scum, no problem.
And now for the tough test, my own favourite.
You love that one, Barry.
With this much power on the tough job, everyday cleaning is a doddle with Slitbang Grime and Lime. Give it a go. Bang, and the dirt is gone.
So to conclude, we can say that the main idea behind non-price advertising is convincing the consumer by indicating the characteristics, so that the consumer will probably compare the product with other products, resulting in product differentiation. Eventually, this will lead to decreasing market competition and increasing prices.
Well, now let's take a look at the second type of advertising, price advertising. Since this kind of advertising actually gives information about the price, this is also known as informative advertising. This kind of advertising tries to inform the consumer about the price and availability of a brand. The most advertising done by retailers is of this type. Another example, and perhaps the best example there is when you just open a commercial folder and you see all the different products with the price next to it, and perhaps some general information but no further details. By giving away that general information and that price information, they actually encourage market competition, resulting in lower prices. That's basic economics. You remember the price of the Jupiter. Well, anyway, the main point of difference between non-price advertising and price advertising is whether the price is being communicated in the advertisements or not. There is no significant difference in quality, but there is a significant difference in price.
Okay, let's conclude with a small overview. Like you have seen, advertising has two main parts. You have price advertising, which leads in lower prices, and you have non-price advertising that leads in higher prices. Non-price advertising contains two components: brand awareness and pointing out the main qualities or supreme qualities. But like we have seen, thanks to the quality test Will explained, the product with the most advertising and the highest price isn't always the best quality.
So this is the end of our small presentation about the relationship between advertising and pricing. We hope you all liked it, and we would like to thank you for your attention.